They left me alone. They watched me fight battles I never asked for. They stood in the crowd, silent, while I bled, while I suffered, while I screamed. They whispered among themselves, shook their heads, but no one stood with me. And so, I learned. I learned that silence is louder than words, that absence is its own kind of violence, that sometimes betrayal doesn't come with a knife. It comes with empty hands when you needed them the most. I begged for help once. I reached out my hands, hoping someone, anyone, would pull me back from the edge, but they just watched. So I let go. I let go of the idea that anyone was coming to save me. I let go of the foolish hope that loyalty existed beyond convenience. And when I hit the ground, oh, that impact was something else. But you know what? It didn't break me. No. It woke me up. It made me see things for what they really were. It burned away every illusion I had about the people around me. The fake smiles, the empty promises, the so-called friends who vanished the moment I was no longer useful to them. And in that moment, standing in the wreckage of my own expectations, I decided, if no one would stand with me, I would become my own army. Do you hear me? I became my own army. No allies, no backup, no one to carry me when I fell. Just me, my pain, and the fire in my chest that refused to go out. They thought I needed them. They thought without their approval, I would fade into nothing. Ha! Funny, isn't it? How people think they are the sun, that without their light, you won't grow. But I wasn't a flower. I was the storm, and storms don't beg for sunlight. They underestimated me. They thought silence meant weakness. They thought because I didn't complain, because I didn't lash out, that I was drowning. But what they didn't realize is that I wasn't sinking. I was evolving. Every wound, a lesson. Every scar, a story. Every betrayal, a reminder. And now? Now I carry those lessons like armor. They say, oh, you've changed. No, I did not change. I just removed the parts of me that tolerated their lies. I killed the version of me that kept giving second chances, that kept waiting for people to do the right thing. That version of me was soft. That version of me was naive. That version of me is dead. What stands in its place? A force. A soldier forged in the war of abandonment. A warrior trained in the battlefield of solitude. You think you can break me? They already tried. You think I'll run? I already stood alone. You think I need you? I built myself from the ashes of who I used to be. I don't need anyone. See, people love to watch you struggle. They act like they care, but they don't. They like the show. They like the entertainment. They don't want to help you. They just want to have something to talk about. But when you start rising, when you stop needing them, oh, that's when they get uncomfortable. That's when they call you selfish. That's when they call you cold, because they wanted you weak, because they liked it when you begged, because your suffering made them feel strong. Well, guess what? I don't beg anymore. I don't ask. I don't wait. I don't depend. I take. I build. I conquer. And now, they look at me with fear. Now they whisper, what happened to him? I'll tell you what happened. I woke up. I realized I was standing in the middle of a battlefield with no reinforcements. So, I became my own army. I don't need their validation. I don't need their handouts. I don't need their fake support. I stand alone, but alone does not mean weak. Alone means no traitors in my camp. Alone means no knives in my back. Alone means I answer to no one but myself. And I like it this way. They said I would never make it. They said I wasn't strong enough, smart enough, ruthless enough. And yet, here I am, stronger, smarter, more ruthless than they ever imagined. Because when you've survived betrayal, when you've survived loneliness, when you've survived being torn apart and left to rot, nothing scares you anymore. Not failure, not rejection, not pain. When you've survived being torn apart and left to rot, nothing scares you anymore. Not failure, not rejection, not pain. I've been through it all. I've lived in the dark long enough to know how to navigate it. And now, I am the darkness. Now I am the nightmare they never saw coming. Now I am the storm they never prepared for. And when I move with the force of every scar I carry, every betrayal, every moment I was abandoned. So, let them talk, let them wonder, let them fear. Because I am not coming back to who I was. I have no intention of returning to that weak, desperate version of me who waited for someone to stand beside him. No, that version is gone. Now I march alone, and I do not stop, and I do not bow, and I do not break, because I am my own army, and I am unstoppable. This is your war cry. This is your reminder. No one stood with you? Good. Stand for yourself. No one believed in you? Good. Prove them wrong. No one helped you? Good. Learn to build with your own hands, because one day they will look back and realize they should have stood with you. But by then, you won't need them anymore. By then, you'll already be victorious. By then, there'll be nothing more than shadows in your past, because when no one stands with you, you learn to stand taller than them all. You see, something happens when you're forced to fight alone. At first, it crushes you. At first, it feels like drowning, like clawing at the surface while the weight of the world pulls you down. Every betrayal, a rock tied to your ankles. Every lie, a wave crashing over you. And you scream, but no one hears you. You reach, but no one grabs your hand. And in that moment, something inside you snaps. Not a little break, not a small crack. No, it's something deeper than that. Something irreversible. It's the death of dependency, the death of needing, the death of waiting, the death of hoping that someone, anyone, will come to save you. And once that part of you dies, oh, my friend, you become something else entirely. You become the thing they should have feared. You become the kind of person who doesn't flinch, who doesn't waver, who doesn't break when the world throws its worst at them. Because you've already been broken, and you survived. You see, people love to talk. They love to point fingers. They love to say things like, "Oh, he changed. Oh, she's different now." They say it like it's an insult, like they expected you to stay weak forever, like they wanted you to stay at their feet, waiting for scraps of their attention. But you woke up, and now they can't handle it. They can't handle that you don't beg anymore, that you don't need them, that you don't care what they think. They wanted you soft. They wanted you scared. They wanted you controlled. But instead, you became something untouchable. I don't care what they called you. I don't care how many times they told you that you weren't enough. I don't care if they walked away like you were nothing, because they were wrong. And now you're going to show them exactly how wrong they were. But listen to me. Really listen. This is not about proving them wrong. This is not about revenge. This is about evolution. This is about turning every moment of loneliness into fuel. This is about turning every scar into armor. This is about making sure that the next time life knocks you down, you get back up so strong, so relentless, so unstoppable, that even the universe has no choice but to step aside. Because you were not built to be overlooked. You were not built to be forgotten. You were not built to stay on your knees, waiting for someone to give you permission to rise. No, you are fire. You are destruction. You are the force that will not be ignored. So let them talk. Let them watch. Let them regret ever thinking that you needed them, because you never did. And you never will. You hear that? That silence. That's the sound of them realizing that they lost something they can never get back. They lost the chance to stand beside you. They lost the chance to say they were there. And now they have to watch. Watch you rise. Watch you conquer. Watch you become the army they never saw coming. And the best part? You don't even need to say a word, because your success, your strength, your unstoppable rise, that will say everything for you. So go. Take everything they said you couldn't have. Become everything they swore you'd never be. And when they look back, when they finally realize, it will be too late, because the battle is already won. And you are already too far ahead, too strong, too powerful. too untouchable, because no one stood with you. So you became your own army. And now, the world will never forget your name.